Welcome everyone back to weekly weather updates, and in today's video we're going to have a look at the latest from the live radar, run through the weather warnings as we do have a yellow thunderstorm warning issued through Sunday for parts of England, as we are going to see the risk of severe thunderstorms really ramping up over the next 12 hours or so. We're looking at all of that in detail in the latest UKV and Arome runs, looking at the risk of thunderstorms through Sunday and Monday. Yes, we have a warning issued for Sunday, but to be honest, from what I'm seeing on the models at the moment, the risk actually is probably higher through Monday. So we'll have to wait and see whether a warning gets issued for Monday as well. And then we'll look at the longer range in the second half of the video, as the first week of September does look pretty warm and humid, of course, with thunderstorms around as well, and temperatures could be in the mid-20s, but we are perhaps starting to see hints of a bit of a cool down in around 10 days time, perhaps. It's not anything definitive, nothing too concrete, but definitely signs that fresher air masses could start to make an influence, which is inevitable. But of course, we have had a lot of warm runs recently. We're finally starting to see some cool runs starting to appear. So do remember, if you enjoy my videos, make sure you like and subscribe. And remember to follow me on Twitter as well, the link's in the description. Now, as we start on the live radar, we're calling this around 9 PM. It's the final day of official meteorological summer. And to be honest, it hasn't actually been too great. The forecast, at least for southern areas, was pretty decent. But where I was, we saw a lot of cloud, and it actually held those temperatures down quite substantially. It actually felt a little bit chilly. Not cold, but just a little bit chilly than I had anticipated over the past couple of days. But things should be better over the next couple of days, with temperatures rising as we do see some more sunshine and the air masses do climb. And you can see it's a pretty dry evening. I said 9 PM I'm recording this, and you can see across northern France we do have thunderstorms breaking out, and it's this energy and this instability that is heading our way through Sunday, and that's why there is that risk of severe thunderstorms over the next few days. Now, do look at the temperatures this evening. You can see it is still all right further southwards. Again, it hasn't been amazing today. As I said, it has felt chilly, but actually the overnight temperatures will probably actually stay above average, and that's why those are not dropping away too much at the moment, because we have got an increasing air mass pushing in, a warming air mass, and we also have a lot of cloud activity, so it does hold those temperatures in. So that's why we're not seeing too many blues at the moment. You can see it's pretty humid across France, and that is heading our way. So yeah, not great today, but is definitely going to be on the up over the next day or two, of course accompanied by those thunderstorms. Now, if you look at that thunderstorm warning, it comes into force 4 AM on Sunday until 9 PM on Sunday evening. Again, from the looks of the latest models, we're very unlikely to see thunderstorms throughout this whole period, but I think that is this kind of risk area. And you can see it's a strip from southern England through all the way to northeast England, and again, it will all happen at various different timings in this region, further southwards through the morning, further northwards through the afternoon into the evening. I think it's one of these situations where don't expect thunderstorms, but don't be surprised if they do take off, because as I said, we'll look at the latest runs in a minute, and to be honest, they're not showing that much activity in this afternoon's runs. This morning's runs were very active. This afternoon's not active really at all. Much more active on Monday. So again, it is a touch and go whether we actually do see much thunderstorm activity. You can see it is a small chance of flooding and disruption from those heavy showers and thunderstorms. And if we do look at the further detail, a few showers and isolated thunderstorms are expected to develop across parts of southern England on Saturday night. We're not actually seeing much yet, so already that bit is a little bit wobbly, but by Sunday morning there's an increasing risk of more active and organised heavy showers and thunderstorms moving into or developing across parts of southern England. So more in the morning, then as the afternoon and evening it will transition further northwards. The extent of these thunderstorms is very uncertain. I do definitely agree with that statement, and many places will miss them, but where they do occur, 30 to 40 millimetres, and again, the usual hazards. It's medium impacts, very low likelihood. Now, I have kind of been critical of the Met Office warnings in recent videos, not only recently, but quite a lot over the past sort of year or two, saying that they should have more of these warnings where there isn't a guarantee of anything really happening, because we have seen events where we've seen thunderstorms have been very active, no warning issued because the models slightly underdid it, or the chances were very low. And we've seen this with other events as well. So I've been critical at times of either the Met Office not issuing a warning or issuing it very late. So I'm actually, even though I'm not seeing too much activity for tomorrow, I am pleased that they have got a warning in force. We've seen a couple of runs that showed some severe activity, and using that, they have put a warning in force, even though there is no guarantees there will be much tomorrow. So I do respect this warning, and I'm pretty pleased that this has actually been put into force, even though, to be honest, I'm not actually expecting much, because as I said, the models are pretty quiet through this afternoon and evening. So if you go over to those models now and have a look at the UKVs first of all. As we head through the rest of this evening, you can see not too much activity, no thunderstorms overnight tonight, but there's the risk of a few breaking out through the morning. But look at this, first sort of 6 hours of the warning, even longer than that, not seeing much activity at all. So as I said, this afternoon's run's really dumbing down those thunderstorms for tomorrow. And you see through the evening, again, a few odd showers breaking out, but really not much activity. It's really when the warning expires late on Sunday evening into the early hours of Monday, we start to see activity taking off. And a big line of thunderstorms extending from southwest England, Wales, up towards southern Scotland, and seeing further extensive thunderstorms breaking out through Monday morning as well. So as I said, the main activity from this latest run is Sunday night into Monday and through much of Monday there, especially in northern and eastern areas. Very active indeed through the rest of Monday into Tuesday. Some perhaps more storms across East Anglia there. And then as into Tuesday, it's a showery outlook, but drier. And then into Wednesday again, few showers around, but drier and generally more pleasant. So you can see quite a lot of activity through Monday, dying out through Tuesday to Thursday, but very little on Sunday. Well, we do have this warning in force. Now, the reason why I think this warning has been enforced is if we go back to the 3 a.m. run, so we just looked at the 3 p.m. run for today, but look at the 3 a.m. run, a few storms breaking out around midnight. We're not really seeing that on this latest run. And then as we head into tomorrow morning, into the afternoon, quite extensive outbreak of thunderstorms across central southern England, transferring further northward. So you can see the UKV earlier today really making a lot of activity on Sunday, but the UKV from this afternoon, not got much activity at all. So that's why I'm very sceptical of thunderstorms through tomorrow. We've got the same model with two different runs done today. One showing quite a lot of activity, warranted probably of a warning, one showing no activity, and really actually a pretty pleasant day. So again, pleased they've got the warning in force, because if we did see the more active scenario, then definitely people need to be warned. But I just want to put that out there, that there is quite a decent chance, maybe even a 50-50, that nothing really happens at all. Now, if you go out to the latest run and have a look at the upper air temperatures, you'll be able to see why it's potentially turning thundery, and that is because the upper air temperatures are rising quite substantially overnight tonight into tomorrow, maybe high teens at 850 HPA by tomorrow afternoon. Again, might not be reflected at the surface with sort of high 20s or low 30s like we would expect with this air mass because of the cloud and the risk of storms. But as we head into Monday, eventually that storm activity gets pushed away along with that very warm air, and then for the rest of the week we're back into more average air, maybe still above average, but freshening up slightly perhaps, but still above average, still fairly warm. If you look at the 2 meter max temperatures, you can see as we head through Sunday afternoon, high 20s is very possible across some southern and eastern areas. Again, will be dependent on cloud and thunderstorms, but as we had a look a second ago at those upper air temperatures, definitely that air mass is warm enough to see temperatures getting towards 30 degrees, maybe even higher. But again, usual caveats are in place with the cloud and shower activity. As we head into Monday, it's still likely to be muggy, low to mid 20s possible. To Tuesday, slightly fresher, maybe low 20s. And then into Wednesday, again, slightly fresher again, maybe low 20s in some regions. And into Thursday, again, high teens, low 20s. So even though it's nowhere near as warm through Tuesday to Thursday, it's still above average, because we have to remember we're into September now. We can't expect 20 plus degrees every day like we do in the summer months. We have to be expecting more teens, eventually transition to low teens through October, and then eventually single digits by November. So we can't expect those 20 plus degree temperatures. Again, it's a bit weird because we've had those very consistent warm temperatures for about 3 months now, 3-4 months. For some, especially in the south, through May was still fairly pleasant a lot of the time. So it is slowly cooling down. So these sort of temperatures into the low 20s is pretty decent indeed. Now, I do just want to compare to the Rome run, which is regarded as one of the better short range models, and I do like to look at this, especially this overlay where we've got both the precipitation and we have the cape, so the energy associated with the thunderstorms. Now, as we head overnight tonight into Sunday, you can see there is moderate cape around through Sunday across central and southern areas. But we don't actually see much activity. There are a few showers around, inevitably, but not too much activity like the latest UKV. The Rome actually agrees. Might not be much going on through Sunday. There is energy there, but not much actually happening. As we head though into Sunday evening, it really picks up. Again, initially out in the west, but then further for central and eastern areas, and big thunderstorms breaking out, especially through the early hours of Monday. So actually, the Rome run here is in pretty strong agreement with the UKV. Yes, there's a small chance of a few showers and storms around on Sunday. Main activity though, Sunday night through to Monday morning. So I wouldn't be surprised if tomorrow, that yellow warning, not much happens. There is the chance, but the latest ones definitely suggesting not much. But then definitely into Monday morning, looks like we could see further warnings because the storm activity does look quite extensive and not only pretty severe, but quite widespread. And there could be a lot of heavy rain around, even if you don't get hit by a active storm with lightning and hail, strong winds, etc. Looks like there's a lot of heavy rain around regardless, which could again cause flooding even outside of any sort of main active thunderstorm band or cell. So we'll have to wait and see what happens, but definitely looks like Monday morning could be the more active period for these storms. And again, we'll be able to look at that in a bit more detail tomorrow afternoon. But again, tomorrow is a little bit of an unknown, unfortunately. Definitely looks like there could be some activity, for the extent and severity, to be honest, not got a clue, because we've got contradicting runs. Latest runs not showing much, earlier runs were showing a lot. So again, it is going to be one of those sort of nowcast situations. Now, if you go over and have a look at the longer range, because of course we've got in a couple of weeks, got the next couple of weeks really to deal with, you can see high pressure in control to the east. We've got this little kink between the two high pressure systems through the next sort of 48 hours or so, and that's what's causing those thunderstorms. As we head into next week though, we do see an extension of the Azores high, warm, dry conditions for much of the week. The air mass though isn't amazingly warm. The air is coming in from the east. There is some warm air that we could tap into at times. So it could get into the mid-20s, but again, it will be all dependent on how close the cut-off low becomes to us and what sort of air mass we bring in. But here, GFS, pretty decent, eventually does break down towards the 10th of September, so in around 10 days' time, and look what happens. It goes much fresher indeed, potentially even some greens moving in, which the upper air temperatures touching 0 degrees. And you look at the temperature deviation, some blues starting to push in. So even though the next 7 to 10 days looks very warm, potentially even an extension of summer, as we head towards the middle third of the month, we could be starting to look at more traditional autumnal conditions. If you compare to the GM, very similar over the coming days, with high pressure taking control, looking warm and dry through much of next week. The high pressure never really consolidates itself over the top of us, and eventually towards day 10, we see northerly winds developing. The high pressure extending more towards Greenland, and look at this, a much colder, fresher air mass pushing in. If we look at the temperature deviation, look at that, 8 to 10 degrees below average. Pretty insane indeed for the 10th of September. Again, it's still decent way away. It's almost 7 days of generally above average temperatures until then. But yeah, definitely signs of a bit of a cool down for the middle third of the month. It is expected, but we've only started to see it crop up on the runs today. And then finally, look at the latest ECMWF. Again, high pressure taking control later this week with easterly winds, generally a warm air mass, but then eventually towards day 10, pretty similar to the GM. Not as much of a direct northerly, but we are seeing those fresh air masses mixing in, and as I said, it could turn much more autumnal for that middle period of the month. And if we do finish by looking at the ensembles, see it's well reflected, generally average to above average temperatures, very warm over the next sort of 24 to 36 hours, dropping slightly through Monday and Tuesday with that cold front moving through, but still around average, and then rising again later this week and kind of being a good 5+ degrees above average for the rest of the week, towards that 10th of September point, where we dip back towards average or below average once again. Now, it doesn't look like absolute washout conditions. There are definitely periods of higher precipitation over the next couple of days with some thunderstorms, and maybe some more thunderstorms later this week, but definitely there will be some drier days. We'll have to wait and see for those precipitation spikes to even themselves out a little bit. I think because of the small little low pressure systems around, the troughs, a lot of the models or ensemble members, sorry, to be specific, are a little bit confused. The exact timings of precipitation. It's not going to be raining all the time. Definitely going to be some drier days, but we'll have to wait and see to decipher those over the next sort of couple of days. And then finally, if we compare to the ECMWF ensembles, very similar, same pattern with the temperatures, above average, average, above average, and then potentially average to below average for the final couple of days of the run. Quite a lot of precipitation, I must say. From the looks of the UKV, it is going to be dry for a good few days next week. Maybe not Monday, maybe not Tuesday everywhere, but definitely Wednesday, Thursday looked pretty dry days. So again, we'll have to wait and see for that. There is a drop in precipitation there, but it does pick up into the weekend. We'll have to wait and see why that occurs. My sort of instinct is that, as we saw from those longer range charts, we did see a cut-off low to our south. Might be that these ensemble members had that cut-off low nudging northwards, and that wouldn't be great. If you actually compare to Glasgow, for example, you can see it is quite a bit drier. So that assertion from me, I think, is reasonably correct, because I think the high pressure will be sat further northwards, low pressure further southwards. So that could mean that northern areas actually see drier, warmer conditions than southern areas. Still lots of things that could change, but that could be the pattern as we head towards next weekend in sort of 5, 6, 7 days time. We'll have to wait and see though, of course. So anyway, thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed. Make sure you stay safe in all those thunderstorms, and I'll see you again for another video soon.